Every morning is an opportunity to connect with Jesus. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow more, DDPC is for you. Join us as we connect with Jesus together.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving and welcome to Daily Devotions with Pastor Chris. It is DDPC episode number 556, and you are on live with us today. So many of you already up and at 'em. I'm sure that you're up because you're cooking, cleaning, preparing, and loading. Hey, Ren, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. God bless you. Samantha, nice to see you on. Sarah Carlack, Esther Grantham, Eric Light. God bless you guys this beautiful morning. Nice to see you. Eileen Thoma, good to see you. Joe Duhamel, John Kookie Cookson, Deb Click is on with us. Good morning, Dad. Happy Thanksgiving. Wish I could be there with you in the great state of Arkansas. God bless you, Tony Fetchy, Elizabeth Orlando. Nice to see you on today. Cindy Wood coming and hailing from Oklahoma. Good to have you on today. Joe, good to have you on. Elizabeth Hibbard and Susan Hotchkiss. Denise and Yvonne and Timothy Jones and Melissa Pinto. What is up, Melissa? Coming from Brooklyn. God bless you. Good to see you on today. Welcome all of you guys as you are joining on DDPC. This is our Thanksgiving episode, and it is good to have you on with us today. So again, this is episode 556, and if you caught us by mistake, this is Daily Devotions of Pastor Chris, where we do a daily devotion every day, Monday through Friday. However, I'll put this out there at the front and the end of this Devo. Tomorrow is Black Friday. And so Black Friday shopping day, cut your tree down day for a lot of people. I will not be broadcasting tomorrow as we have all kinds of family events going on, and I won't be able to get to it that early. So I apologize for that, but anyway, so please be advised there will be no DDPC tomorrow, but you can rewatch this one if you want. Amen. Good to see you, Gene Hickman. Nice to have you on. Kimberly, thanks for being on with us this morning. Welcome, Sandy Ames. Good to have you on. God bless everyone. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Gina Marie from Florida, thanks for being on today. Thank you guys for joining me for these few minutes as we start off this Thanksgiving day. Mark and Courtney Legion, God bless you, bud. Nice to see you, Mark. And listen, I want to show you, this is my puppy. He wants to say hello to everybody this morning before I let him down. And so I'm going to let him down now. So excuse me for just a moment. All right. I'm back. Okay, so welcome, guys. Welcome. Connie and Stan are on with us. God bless you. Good to see you on today as well. So many of you guys are just now jumping on. Again, happy Thanksgiving and welcome to Daily Devotions with Pastor Chris. You are on with us, and we are finishing out our series on why should I be thankful, or what's my dog's name? His name is Jasper. So, hey, what's up, Reverend Frank Finkel? Nice to have you on with us today. God bless you, buddy. So we've been talking about the life of Esther, and we talked about how her circumstances, though not favorable, and though she had lots of reasons to complain and completely could have just shaken her fist at God, that we never see her in the story of Esther. We never see her getting angry with God or mad at God, but instead she learns to fast and pray and turn to God for some, that's my dog, I promise you, if you hear that. But in any case, hey, what's up, Rubino family? Nice to see you, Mike B. People still jumping on. Zaborowskis are on. God bless you. And so we've been looking at Esther, and we've learned that Esther teaches us that you need to be thankful for where you are. You need to be thankful for who you are. And today I want to talk about, and we're going to finish out this study on being thankful for when you are. And so let's look at Esther chapter 4, and we're going to read 2 verses this morning. Hey, what's up, Jenny Lynn? Oh, there it is, the woot woot. I was expecting it. All right. So Esther chapter 4, verse 13 says, Mordecai told the messenger. Now remember that that Mordecai is the uncle of Esther, right? And he's taken her in because Esther has been exiled from her family, from her homeland. She lost her parents. He takes her in. They're Jewish. They're living under oppression. And Esther gets taken from Mordecai. She becomes part of the king's harem, but Mordecai overhears a conversation between the king's number 2 guy, which his name is Haman, and Haman has this plan to basically commit genocide and to kill all the Jews. And the king is kind of going along with this, not realizing that his queen Esther is, in fact, Jewish. And so which is kind of something you should have talked about before you got married, but whatever. It's a different day. And hey, what's up, Abs now? Abigail, good to see you on. Welcome, and hoping you're doing well this Thanksgiving Day. I know you are because you're always thankful. So anyway, so Mordecai connects with Esther, says, listen, you got to go talk to the king. But she recognizes that in that day, the queen, even though she's the queen, she doesn't just get an audience with the king. She has to be invited to come into his courts, and to enter into a conversation with the king without being invited is punishable by death. And so this is kind of the tension that she's in, and so this is where we pick up. So Esther chapter 4, verse 13, Mordecai told the messenger to reply to Esther, quote, don't think that you will escape the fate of all the Jews just because you're in the king's palace. If you keep silent at this time, liberation and deliverance will come to the Jewish people from another place, but you and your father's house will be destroyed. Who knows? Perhaps you will come to your royal position. You have come to your royal position, and here it is, for such a time as this. For such a time as this. So in Esther chapter 4, Uncle Mordecai tells Esther that she had been brought to where she was, and all this was happening for this moment in time. That Haman's intent on destroying the Jewish king, in destroying the Jews in the kingdom, what needed to be addressed. And Mordecai refused to honor Haman. Remember, everybody was bowing to him, and he refused to bow because he only bows to God. And that's why Haman was upset. That's because he had defied him. So Esther knew that the law stated that if you were not called to the king's court by the king to come to his chamber, that you could be killed. And so Mordecai is telling Esther, listen, go and tell him anyway. Don't wait to be called on by the king. And naturally, all right, because we have to kind of personify this story, and you need to put yourself in Esther's shoes for a minute and recognize, like, if I knock on that door, right, then Mordecai, then the king could have me killed on the spot. So fear naturally is overtaking her. And some of you are experiencing this because some of you recently have had to face with vaccination mandates and different things, that like jobs have been on the line. Some of you have had to walk away from careers. Some of you have had some horrible experiences with family and things that have just come up against your face. And you know that if you say something, it has a potential to explode. And you're at that crossroads right now. And so Mordecai's telling her, listen, you cannot be subject to fear. You have to step forward. And then he says this, and this is why this is the whole point of this devotional today. He says this is why you are, this is where you are, and this is why you are where you are, and this is why you are who you are, and this is why God has placed you in this situation. For such a time as this. Guys, this is why, when you are. So not only where are you or who are you, but when are you? And so I want you to notice that Esther's plan when she devises this plan, and we didn't read it all, but she tells Mordecai to go tell the people to fast and to pray, and that she and her workers will also fast and pray for this moment. But in all of this, she isn't seeking guaranteed success. But what she is doing is she's trusting God that she can go and get the message to the king. And so she's saying, even if I have to die, I am called for this moment. This is when I am. And guess what? God ends up honoring her faith, and the king welcomes her and hears her plea because of Esther's bravery and her faith in God, and she ends up saving the whole Jewish nation. Now, what does that matter to you on this Thanksgiving Day? All right, this is what I want you to know, and then we're going to go and eat all day long and watch football. So you are, on this Thanksgiving Day, I want you to remember when you are. You and I live in a nation where we are free to worship, at least currently, right? But you also live in a country at this time, 2021, the 21st century. You are not living 50 years ago in the good old days, and you're not living 50 years from now. You are right now. This is the time that you are granted and guaranteed. This is your portion, if you will. Not only are we to steward our gifts, and not only are we to steward our resources, but we are to steward our time. God has given us this moment right now. And some of you are going to be sitting around tables, and you've got that crazy uncle coming over that everybody just kind of cringes at, but he needs Jesus, and you might be the only mouthpiece. And you know, if you bring Jesus up, that it has a potential to explode. And you've got to ask yourself, is this the time? Is this the time am I called for such a time as this? And you might say, well, Pastor, but I can't step out like Esther. I might fall flat on my face. I might fail. I might not have the right words. I might not know what to say. Well, what I want to tell you is this. Success, at least success as the world sees it, is not guaranteed in our lives. We are not guaranteed success, but success in God's eyes is 100% guaranteed when we obediently follow His calling on our lives. When you're obedient to what God speaks to you, you can rest assured that on spiritual matters, success is a guarantee. I think of the Apostle Paul at the time when he was imprisoned, and he writes to the Ephesian church, and he says this in chapter 4, verse 1 of the book of Ephesians. He says, as a prisoner for the Lord, then, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. So guys, listen, there are many people today who say they're a Christian. There are many people who say, oh, I love God, or they profess with their mouths all kinds of things. They know how to talk the talk. They can talk like they're thankful, but do they walk like they are thankful? There's a big difference in just saying it and living it. That's why we talk about Thanksgiving is thanks living, right? So what about you? When it comes to serving Christ, do you only profess with your mouth? When it's all on the line, like it was for Esther, do you risk it all to let God's message be heard? Or do we make excuses? We excuse our way out of where we are. We excuse our way out of who we are. Oh, that's just not me. That's not who I am. Or do we excuse our way out of when you are? Do you know that when you excuse your way out of where and who and when you are, it's actually disobedience? When we use excuses like, look at my circumstances, or now's not the right time, or I'm not that kind of a person, or how can I serve at this time? So that's disobedience to God. So here it is. Let's just boil it all down, right? This is the one big nugget from this devotional on this Thanksgiving Day. Are you ready for this? the one big nugget I want you to walk away with is this. We must understand that such a time as this is not about the benefit to ourselves, but about our obedience to the Lord. Such a time as this is not about the benefit to ourselves, but about our obedience to the Lord. Paul says this in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. He says, today is the day of salvation. So what he meant there was that today is the day to act. Today is the day to obey. Today is the day to submit to God. And this holds true to our service to God as well. We are not saved so we can sit around and soak up service. We are called to be the service. We are called to serve. We are saved to serve. We are called not to serve in some distant future, not to serve when I've got it all figured out, not to serve when I've attained some certain level of spiritual maturity, but start serving where you're at right now for when you are and where you are and who you are. Because our calling is such a time as this. And God invaded your life, and he has done miraculous things in your life so that this moment today will have spiritual significance for the future and the eternity of somebody. So be thankful for when you are, because there's no greater time to serve God than today. He doesn't want us to wait for a better time. There is no better time. Think about this. If Esther had waited, if Esther had said, well, maybe I'll wait until I get a calling from the king. Maybe I'll wait until I'm in his good graces. She and all the Jewish people would have fallen to a satanic strategy of genocide to take them out. But she understood that she was called to a purpose, and that purpose made itself known, and she acted in the moment that she was in. And because she trusted God more than she feared death, then she and her people were spared and even blessed abundantly, more than they could have asked or imagined. And that's God's desire, is just in the same way that you just want to, man, when your kids obey and they get it and you just want to bless them. The Bible says, how you who are sinful know how to bless your child, how much more than your God who is perfect, how much more will he want to bless you when you are obedient? And so he desires that we serve him and that we're obedient to him in such a time as this. So we've got to be thankful today that God has placed us on this planet in the place where you are at, where we have clean air and clean water, and we're going to have food to eat and shelter today from the cold. And maybe you're working today. Listen, don't begrudge the fact that you have to work on a Thanksgiving day. Be thankful. Be thankful. And you know what? Shed that Thanksgiving to every customer. Maybe you work at a coffee shop or a gas station, or maybe I don't know if grocery stores are open today, but if they are and you work there, or maybe it's a food supply, a fast food place, and people are coming in and they're traveling and they're on their way to see families, and maybe you can say, my circumstances aren't blessed like yours, but you are in a moment today where you can bless somebody else with the joy of the Lord and let his love shine through you, because somebody's life is intersecting with yours on purpose, and you are placed where you are for such a time as this. So we got to be thankful that God has placed us in a country where men and women have sacrificed to provide us with great freedom to worship God today as we see fit. And finally, we've got to be thankful that God has placed us in this time, a time where we are not called to be spectators, but to be participants of the great calling of salvation. You've got a lot to be thankful for, friends. So today I ask you, are you thankful? Understand that even the most cleverly designed plans of the enemy, when met with a thankful heart, will fall to the faithfulness of God. And that is something we should be thankful for. So that's what I have for you today on this Thanksgiving Day. I pray that it's a blessing to you. And I see a couple more. Julie is on here. A couple others. I don't want to. Tina, good to see you on today. God bless you all. Listen, happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget, I won't be on tomorrow for DDPC, but we will pick up again on Monday. So until then, have a wonderful weekend. God bless you, and we'll see you on Monday. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving.